A big episode for here in the Tampa community. Someone I met through networking. He's out here grinding every weekend. He's putting together boot camps for the Tampa community, which not only improves their physical health, but for their mental health. Today, he comes on the show to share his story. Like many of us, he's battled through his ups and downs, but he has found a way through. And as I mentioned, he's out here thriving in Tampa. Joey, it is great to see you. Thank you for taking the time to join a mental health break.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you on for the courage you have to share your story, all the resilience you've showed. I'll give a background to some of Joey's story, then we'll bring him on because he can share it a lot better than me. He lost his mother at a very young age, found himself in some trouble, went to prison, and then he came back out, went back in. But after he got out this second time, he found his calling, became a fitness instructor. As I mentioned, he's been a big name here in Tampa. We're going to learn the ups and downs, how he found a way to stay mentally healthy. He'll even share his stories as overcoming a car accident, fighting custody for his daughter. Everyone out there, I know one of those bullet points has to resonate with you. So stay tuned for an honest and true testimonial here today from Joey. And of course, be sure to stick around to this week's Spotlight story at the halfway point. I mentioned already a few times he's thriving in the exercise field, helping people become their best selves. We're going to dive into an article titled The Mental Health Benefits of Exercise, and then we'll get Joey's take on it. But if it's your first time joining us, thank you so much for stopping by a mental health break. This is the show that normalizes the conversation around mental health. I started to pay attention to my mental health after being hit by a car while walking home and suffering a traumatic brain injury. I shared his story just a bit, but right now we're going to dive right into it, Joey. Let's share your mental health journey and feel free to start from wherever you'd like.
Well, as you know, my name is Joey Fontanez. I'm 37 years old. I'm from New York City. Like Vince said, I lost my mother at 12 years old. Got into some, a little bit of trouble in New York, just trying to, chase the wrong things, getting with the wrong crowd. I had good opportunities to do something different with my life, like boxing was one of them. I could have went pro, but like I said, the street life had me. I had scholarships to play basketball. I was really good at basketball, kind of screwed that up as well. Um, I was just lost, I didn't know, I didn't have the right people around me. I was always moving from uh you know from families' houses and stuff like that, just moving around. I was staying with my aunt, my grandmother, my uncles. I mean, I was everywhere, just trying to find myself. My dad was just trying to figure out like what was best for me, obviously he was there for me, um but he wanted to, like, wanted me to figure myself out because of the loss of my mother and stuff like that. Like I said, he was always supportive. He was always there for me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he did his best as a father, but he just tried to let me see what Joey Fontanez could do. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, man. I mean, I got into some trouble when I was 19, about to turn 20. Went to prison in New York for 2 years, selling drugs and a gun charge. They wanted me to pretty much like snitch on somebody, and I didn't want to. So the judge gave me a slap on the wrist by giving me 2 years, because the gun that I had was dirty, and it had a couple, in New York, as we say, it had a couple bodies on it. So, um, you know, he could have gave me every everybody, every murder or whatever, like somebody that got shot with a gun, he could have gave me, you know, different charges with that, but he didn't. He just decided to give me 2 years. I learned a little with them 2 years, but not much, because I ended up going back into the streets, got in trouble again, got in a real big problem. Decided to come out here to Florida because my dad lived in Florida. Um, but I actually moved out here for a girl. Moved to St. Petersburg. Stayed there for a couple months. She ended up auditioning for New York to be a New York Knicks dancer, and ended up moving back. I was staying with her mom and her brother for like 2 months, and then I decided to move with my dad. And funny story. She ended up leaving me for Nate Robinson, the basketball player. If y'all don't know who Nate Robinson is the guy that got knocked out by Jake Paul. So, yeah, I ended up moving to Tampa. Had a job for a few months, and then got back into the street life. And I was in and out of jail out here, just knucklehead, just not, not wanting to live a normal life. Once you get, a little taste of the street life money, you don't want to get out of it. And end up getting my daughter's mom pregnant, and that didn't even help. So I ended up getting in more trouble and was facing a life sentence. And I ended up doing 5 years. Within the 5 years, I was still selling drugs in prison, believe it or not. In prison, it's like you have to figure out a way to survive. The first year I didn't want to do anything, but then I eventually, got into, selling cigarettes, selling drugs and stuff like that. Anything you get your hands on to make money in prison, that's what I was doing. Everybody does the same thing. I'm not saying that I'm a follower, but you got to survive in there, especially when your family's not sending you money. When your family don't got it like that, they can't send you no money. So you have to figure out ways to survive in prison. 5 years is a long time, believe it or not. I mean, it sucks, same routine every day. I mean, it sucks, man. So make a long story short, I want to say like the last year, um, I'm still selling drugs, and I was telling it like myself, everybody was telling me I should get into fitness because I was always working out and I always had people gravitating towards me and wanting to work out with me all the time. They would tell me, man, you should be a fitness trainer, bro. You should stop this, selling drugs, and you should start, you know, aiming start going towards the fitness route, and I was just like, nah, being a knucklehead and hard headed, I was like, no, I'm gonna be the king of the street still. When I get out, I'm still gonna sell drugs. So I end up going to a halfway house my last 8 months, and I was still, doing the same thing. But then I saw my daughter for the first time. So the whole time, the four years I was in behind bars, I didn't get to see my daughter. And then when I went to work release, I saw my daughter, and it's like a light switch hit. Everything changed right then and there, and I gave everything up. I was just like, you know what, this little girl's so pretty, and she needs a father. She's precious. You know what I mean? And she hasn't seen me in 4 years. I could have been a complete stranger to her, but she just welcomed me with open arms, and I was like, man, what the hell with this, man? I'm about to stop all this. So I stopped, and I was trying to figure out what should I do. So they had like different trades, like different careers that I could have chose and stuff like that. I could have studied, and try to find a job out here and work. So I did plumbing, electricity, uh, uh, and I try to get into anything, and I didn't want to do none of it, honestly. But I got certified and everything. Make a long story short, a buddy of mine named Judge was like, you should try to see if they have like the fitness course. So I end up asking. They was like, no, we don't have that. And I was like, man, this is like one thing I really want to do, and I know I'll be good at it. Can you like ask and see if they have this? So they didn't have it, but they made it work. They ended up getting me the course. Um, I ended up passing it. I got certified when I got out of prison. I had a buddy of mine named Danny Blanco, which I was telling you about. We'll talk about it after. Um, he has a similar story to mine as well. He went to prison for 10 years. He got out. He was working in LA Fitness. In prison, I had a phone, and I always talk to him. And he was like, "Man, when you get out, I have a job for you." He was a man of his word. I got out. Went to LA Fitness. He got me a job doing sales. I didn't like it because sales. I wanted to, I like to be moving around and stuff like that. I was just sitting at a desk all day making phone calls, and I just wanted to be active, you know. So I ended up leaving it and started doing my own thing.
You are crushing it so far. You are inspiring me so much. I'd love to take a quick pause and get a message from our show partner, Tampa Counseling and Wellness. And you could find all of their information in the show description.
Are you constantly exhausted and overwhelmed? Do you struggle with your confidence or self-esteem? Are you ready to live a life with more passion, courage, and excitement? At Tampa Counseling and Wellness, we want to be there for you every step of the way. While we understand that change may be difficult, we have a proven track record of helping our clients live a more joyous and meaningful life. Whether you are looking to overcome some current life challenges or you are looking to do some deeper healing, we are here to help you. Our compassionate approach to therapy is rooted in building your confidence and insight while helping you gain mastery of your life. If you would like to learn more about our services or you would like to schedule a free consultation with one of our clinicians, please visit us at www.tampacounselingandwellness.com or simply call or text us at 813-520-2807. We look forward to growing with you, Tampa Counseling and Wellness, where it is okay to not be okay.
And then I started working at Crunch. Crunch, it was kind of similar, but I was training people as well.
Okay.
It was more sales, but it was just like, personal training as well. I did really good there. Ended up getting fired for something real stupid. And I ended up going to this gym called Cultus Gym, and they gave me the opportunity. And I had a buddy of mine named Rolly that a buddy of mine named Mark got me in the door. And he's been trying to get me to come in for the longest. My buddy Rolly was working there, and they needed a boxing instructor. So the owner, his name is Treon, he needed a boxing instructor, and he was like asking around, like, man, I need a boxing instructor. So my boy Rolly was like, Joey knows boxing. He was like, really, Joey? And he's like, yeah, he knows boxing. Like he's been doing it since he was a kid. So he came up to me instantly. He was like, yo, boxing? I was like, yeah, I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. Cool. I got a boxing class at 6 o'clock. Dude, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was like at least like 28 people. And I was just so lost because I don't know how to run a boxing class. You know what I mean? So I ended up doing a boxing class. I did so terrible. It went from 28 people to 8 people. So I had to build up. I had to figure out ways to be creative, and it was cool and everything. But then I started doing boot camps. That's how the boot camp started, and I would do boxing at the end. But then the boxing class was like 8 people. Then it started growing a little bit because I started doing more boot camps, and then it went from 8 to 12, from 12 to 16, from 16 to 21. Then it got crazy, and everybody just kept asking for the boot camps, and the owner wanted me to do more boxing, and I was like, man, I think we shouldn't stop this right now. This is a good thing going on. They're asking for the boot camps, but I'll do the boxing. He was like, oh, we'll just do at least like 20 minutes of boxing, and every time I'll do 20 minutes of boxing, 15 minutes of boxing, they will ask for the boot camps. So I just said, the hell with the boxing, we're just gonna do the boot camps. And then the owner came up with an idea, pretty much doing the boxing Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then the boot camps Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I had a little space, a little room, and 20 people was good, but then I started getting like 30 people, 35 people, and I didn't have no more space. It was just hard to do things in there. So I asked the owner, I was like, I need more space, man. I'm sorry. This place is, this little room right here is good, but like it's getting too packed. It's getting too crowded, and I can't fit that many people in here. So he expanded the room and put turf, because I've been asking for turf. He put turf, and man, those classes are amazing. 2020, COVID came around. They shut the gyms down. Mind you, I was doing boot camps already. So let me rewind. 2019, I started boot camps. And just a buddy of mine named Sabi was like, man, you should start doing boot camps. We was doing like a fitness video. And she was like, you should start doing boot camps, Joey. I don't see why you don't do boot camps. You'll be good at it. And I was like, I don't know. She was like, just give it a shot. So I started promoting. My first class, I had like 27 people. It was amazing. It was so mind blowing. So it was like, I can't believe that this many people came. And like every 2 weeks I would do them, and I would have a lot of people. I would have a good turnout. So COVID came around. When COVID came around, um, gyms were closing. There was no gyms open. I was still training. I had my own equipment, and I was just training anywhere, park, a parking lot, and I would do my original boot camps at the Riverwalk, and I would have a ton of people, like 30 people, 20 or 30 people. It was a good turnout. And then I started doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the Riverwalk, and it went from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 is the most I ever had. Best feeling in the world. I mean, it was amazing. And so many people were coming out, even football players, which was kind of cool. You know, like
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
was just coming out. 2020, I got in a bad car wreck. I broke both my legs. Car flipped 15 times. I broke both my legs. Left me out of commission for like almost a year. And man, it sucked. You know what I mean? It was mentally challenging, and it really sucked, man, because you go from, you know, being on top of the world on your highest level to all of a sudden not doing anything, you know, just laying in the bed. And it was just depressed, and man, it sucked. But I got through it, and make a long story short, here I am right now, killing boot camps right now again, training people. I mean, it's an amazing feeling, training clients and stuff like that got me custody of my daughter, 50-50, but it got me custody of my daughter. My daughter's mom was giving me a hard time. Last year I actually got custody of my daughter 50-50, and I got my own place now. Um, it wasn't easy, man, but I bust my ass to get to where I'm at right now, and it still isn't easy, but I'm here.
Hey, well,
I'm
the
here.
work ethic I commend you for, and you've been through a lot, but you never gave up. And I think that's the most
Right.
important thing. You found a way to keep going. And then all of a sudden you see your daughter for the first time, and you're like, okay, things have to change. You took it upon yourself. I met you with your daughter, and I know how much you care about your daughter
Right.
and being a good dad. So it's a message to everyone out there. Sometimes you need a perspective change. Some things come into your life. It might just be the thing to thread the needle. He's out here. I've been to his boot camps here in Tampa. I made the mistake of going to the booty boot camp with with my girlfriend. And let me tell you, I'm someone, even though I have the rod in my leg, I still challenge myself to be in the gym and improve each week in the gym. But those booty bands around your legs, oh man, I wasn't walking right for a week or so. Oh, but that's one way I improve my mental health. I'm sure that's one way Joey will consider his mental health improvement. There are a lot of things that work for different people out there. What are some things you do use or some techniques you have, Joey, to stay mentally healthy?
Honestly, I'm a real active person. I just like to listen to music, put the headphones on, listen to music, ride bikes, take walks, um, sit at a beach, and just reflect on life. You know what I mean? And just always remembering where I came from. You know what I mean? And just I'm just so grateful. I just remind myself how grateful I am to still be where I'm at. You know what I mean? To be where I'm at right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, just trying to stay active, man. Honestly, with fitness saved my life, and I just try to stay active with fitness as much as I can.
I think fitness, it's super important for me. It's my mental health cheat. Every morning I'm doing some kind of exercise. And I always try to stress this to everyone listening on when this comes up. The gym isn't for everybody, and that's okay. You could take walks. You can do different things to improve your mental health as far as fitness. There are a lot out there. If you are in the Tampa area, be sure to stick around to the end of the show. We'll find out how to get in touch with Joey. Follow his page where he posts these boot camps, usually on Saturdays out here with our mutual friend, Chef, out here. They do a great job, and their crowd has been growing each and every week. I've seen it firsthand. But we've covered a lot today. You've really shared your story and how to overcome such amazing adversity. Someone who's also been in a different type of car accident, I know how backwards it sends you and how far forward you have to work to get back to where you are. I mean, you're at level 0 and you got to work your way up, but you're a great example of resilience, Joey. So again, I do commend you on all that. I am now going to hop into this week's spotlight story. Excuse me. Everyone, be sure to scroll down in the show description to follow along with this article. It is on the mental health benefits of exercise. It's from a website or an organization, I should say, called helpguide.org. I'm going to go over a little bit, then we're going to bring on Joey back on the show. You already know that exercise is good for the body, but did you know it can also boost your mind, improve your sleep, help you deal with depression, anxiety, stress, and more? Exercise is not just about aerobic capacity and muscle size, but sure, it can improve your physical health and physique, trim your waistline, improve your sex life, and even add years to your life. But that's not what motivates most people to stay active. People who exercise regularly tend to do so because it gives them an enormous sense of well-being. They feel more energetic throughout the day, sleep better at night, have sharper memories, and feel more relaxed and positive about themselves and their lives. It is also a powerful medicine for many common mental health challenges. Exercise can make a profoundly positive impact on depression, anxiety, and ADHD, while also relieving stress, improving your memory, sleeping better, and improving your mood. As someone who had a traumatic brain injury, the memory is a big thing for me. The anxiety relief is a big thing for me. And of course, I don't know anybody who can't go without a little sleep aid, especially a natural sleep aid. But you don't have to be a fitness fanatic to reap these benefits. As I mentioned, research has indicated that the modest amounts of exercise can make a real difference. No matter your age or fitness level, you can learn to use exercise as a powerful tool to deal with mental health problems, improve your energy, your outlook at life, and of course, get more out of life. Touch here a little bit on some of the things I talked about: exercise and stress, exercise and PTSD drama. Ever notice how your body feels when you're under stress? Your muscles are tense, especially in your face, neck, shoulders, leaving you with back or neck pain, and painful headaches. You may even feel tightness in your chest, a pounding pulse, or muscle cramps. Some may also experience insomnia, heartburn, stomach ache, diarrhea, or frequent urination. The worry and discomfort of all these physical symptoms can, in turn, lead to even more stress, creating a vicious cycle between your body and mind. However, exercise is a way to break this cycle. As well as releasing endorphins into your brain, physical exercise helps to relax the muscles and relieve tension in your body. Since the body and mind are so closely linked, when your body feels better, so does your mind. I mentioned it helps ADHD, depression, anxiety, but here I'm going to touch on this quick before bringing Joey back on: exercise and PTSD and trauma. Evidence suggests that by really focusing on your body and how it feels as you exercise, you can actually help your nervous system become unstuck and begin to move out of the immobilization stress response that characterizes PTSD and trauma. Instead of allowing your mind to wander, pay close attention to your physical sensations in your joints and muscles, even inside as your body moves. Exercise that involves cross movement and that engage both arms and legs, such as walking, especially in the sand, running, swimming, weight training, dancing. These are some of your best choices. Outdoor activities like hiking, sailing, mountain biking, rock climbing, all of these, and skiing downhill even, have been shown to reduce symptoms of PTSD. Now, Joey, I touched on a few areas here relating to mental health. What are some of your takeaways?
I like to take walks. Like I said, I love to ride bikes, and just listen to music, man. I mean, just walking. I mean, anything to, like I said, that has to do with fitness or, just, I don't know. I like to get away from life if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going through something, I just love to take long walks. I like to take drives. I like to go to the beach and just listen to the water and just be at peace, man. You know what I mean? Riding bikes is something that I picked up. I love riding bikes. It does the same thing for me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going through something, I just say, hey, but you know what, the hell with it. I'm just going to get up and just, ride a bike or something like that. And it helps me, believe it or not. Any little thing can help you, you know? Sometimes I like to go to the Riverwalk and just sit out there, listen to music and just sit there and just relax by myself and listen to music. And it helps out big time. When I was going through my accident, I would write so many goals down. You know what I mean? I couldn't do anything. I had to figure out different ways to pretty much survive. And what would I do different when I'm back on my feet? So I wrote a lot of things down, and it helped out big time, you know. One of the things I did was sell apparel, and it worked out, you know what I mean? It worked out really good. But then, you know, obviously, like when I got back on my feet, I did what I wanted to do, and that was fitness, and that's what helped me out. But um, back to the question, you know, I anything that will help you, you know, get your mind off any negativity and stuff like that, or anything that's making you go through it that helps you, just make it happen, you know. Try not to sit on your ass and just, you know, pout about the negativity that's going on in your life. Get up and do something, you know. It's better than staying home and just moping around, you know.
I love that you just touched on writing, music, creativity. Of course, we already touched on exercise. All these things have positive impacts to your mental health. What works for some does not work for everyone. Those are 4 examples right there. I'm sure one of them may make a positive impact on your life. You touched on it a few times, finding ways to take your mind off negativity. This is extremely important. And again, I just said it. I don't want to sound repetitive, but what works for some doesn't work for everyone. You know yourself better than anyone. Your friends may try to help you, the doctors may try to help you, but no one knows you better than yourself. Follow your heart, follow your passions, and I'm sure that will at least make a small impact on your mental health. Follow that repetitively, be consistent with it, a week, a month, and all of a sudden I'm sure you will see real changes. So Joey, thank you so much for that follow-up from this week's Spotlight story. But before I let you go, I'd love to hear what's one piece of advice you have for all of our mental health champions out there who may be struggling listening on today.
Same thing I told myself, man. Never give up. You know, you. That's Vince just said. You know, you. Whatever works for you. But never give up. You know, just get up, get it going. You know what I'm saying? Um, Man, I mean, that's not the end of the world. Is that whatever you're going through is only temporary, and you know, you just gotta be positive. Keep all the negative thoughts out your head. Stay around positive people. Um, and just, you know, be with people that wants to see you succeed in life. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to want it for yourself. You don't want it for yourself, then you'll just be, you know, right where you're at, doing nothing. You know, I would hate to sound, you know, real blunt about that, but it's true. Like, you know, you just gotta get after it. You know, nobody's gonna do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Period.
That's
Um,
right.
you know, I mean, that's about it right now. I mean,
You got to show up for yourself, and you're not wrong. I mean, this world, no one's going to wait for you. No one's going to keep you going better than you're going to help yourself. I mean, you can't rely on other people to a certain extent. It would be nice to, but I think if you're listening to this show, you have to find ways to make it work for yourself. Everybody's busy, including ourselves. We all have different things going on. So if you're not going to show up for yourself, you can't possibly rely on other people. Something I stress on big time is you can't be a best friend to others until you're a best friend to yourself. You can't possibly help others until you can help yourself. And it takes a lot of humility. It takes a lot of being humble in your body, being humble in your mind to find ways to move yourself forward, recognizing our weaknesses, turning them into strengths, recognizing that there always is room for improvement because we are humans. We all are a work in progress. And without recognizing that, putting that ego to the side, sometimes we'll never be able to make the strides that we need. He's been out here sharing his story today. I just want to ask you, is there any areas you want to shed on before we sign off related to mental health? I mentioned these boot camps a little bit before, if you want to touch on that a little more.
as far as boot camps go, I have a boot camp May 20th, 11 o'clock, 700 North Armenia Avenue. What's the name of the park again?
That's at the Villa Brothers Park, I believe. The one we were at when I
Right.
went. Yeah. That's over on that's in South Tampa. But
Armenia.
you're gonna be keeping those going as this episode is gonna be dropping on June 2nd. Can you
Right.
please now drop your Instagram, the website, anything where people can follow along your journey and keep going?
My Instagram is Joey Fever 86. Um, and if you want to contact me through Instagram. I do personal training. I do boxing training. I do head training. I mean, whatever you want to do, I'm the guy for it. I'm a basketball instructor as well. Um, just get in contact me on Instagram. You want to get in contact with me. My phone number is 813-370-4144. Just text me and I'll make sure to, you know, get back to you as soon as I can. And that's about it. I mean, like I said, thank you for having me. I
Of
appreciate it.
course. Yes, sir. We're going to get you on that entrepreneur show as well. Once this one airs, we'll get you recorded on the other show. Everyone be sure to look out for his entrepreneurial journey. You got a little sneak peek to some of that today, but he shared it from the heart today. He shared everything he overcame. And the show is at a mental health break on Facebook and LinkedIn. On Twitter, we are at Podcasts by Lanci, and on IG and YouTube, we are at Vincent A. Lanci. And with that, Tampa Bay, we just delivered a special episode for you. Everyone be sure to head to his boot camps. No matter what level of fitness you're at, you don't have to go as hard as other people at these boot camps. Take it at your own pace. And before you know it, you'll work your way up to his regular classes. Joey, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you, brother. Hope you have a good one.